Hello everyone, welcome to Home Cooking with me Hema Subramanian. As we come to the end of 2022, I just wanted to share some of my best recipes that I have done this year. You can try them and enjoy your holidays with your family and friends. So let's get started and check them out.
For the chili bread, I've taken 5 slices of fresh bread here. So you can either use this white sandwich bread or you can use brown bread. So the bread is your choice. Just cut off the edges. Cut the bread into small pieces. So make sure all the pieces are nice equal size. So this is a good size. So we're going to toast the bread pieces. To a pan, add about 2 to 3 teaspoons of oil. Just drop all the bread pieces to the pan. Keeping the flame on a medium high, toast the bread pieces till they're a nice golden brown color. You can see the pieces are toasted to a lovely golden brown color. You can turn off the stove at this point and keep the bread pieces aside. For the chili paste, blanch about 10 to 15 red chilies. Once they're completely cooked, remove them from the stove, cool them completely, transfer it to a mixer jar and grind it to a fine paste. So your chili paste is ready. Take a nice wide pan. Once the pan is heated up, add about 3 teaspoons of oil. Add about 1 tablespoon of finely chopped garlic, 1 tablespoon of finely chopped ginger. Next add 2 green chilies chopped. Next add 1 medium-sized onion, finely chopped. Next add a large piece of capsicum that's been finely chopped. Saute the onions and capsicum for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm going to season it with 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon pepper. Now you can adjust the salt and the seasoning according to your taste. Keep the flame on low. Add 1 teaspoon of vinegar, 2 teaspoons soy sauce. So next add about 1 tablespoon of freshly ground chili paste. Next add about 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup. So mix it all in. Bring the flame to a medium. So you can see this mixture is getting ready with all the sauces. So I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of spring onion whites that have been finely chopped. Let's mix that in. It's going to give you a nice fresh crunch. Next add about 1/2 cup of water. Mix it in. So I'm going to make some corn flour slurry. For this I've taken 1.5 teaspoons of corn flour. Add a little water, 1/4 cup, and just mix everything in. Make sure the corn flour is completely dissolved. Now add the corn flour slurry. The corn flour slurry is going to thicken this mixture a bit. Add the bread pieces and mix it all in. Just make sure the mixture coats the bread pieces nicely. Looking beautiful, you can see. So this chili bread looks absolutely delicious. It's a very nice starter recipe that you can make and serve immediately. Everybody will enjoy. Just add a few spring onion greens. Just adding a few chopped coriander leaves. So your chili bread is done. Just give it a quick toss and serve it immediately. It looks so tasty and so yummy. So now I'm going to make the dough for the samosas. For this I've taken 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, that is maida. To this I'm adding half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon ajwain. Just give it a quick mix. Next I'm adding 3 tablespoons of oil. So just mix the flour along with the oil. So you can see it's got a nice crumbly texture. When you hold it like this, it should bind. So this is how you want it. So now just add little water at a time and start mixing the dough. So just knead the dough till it's all well combined for about 3 to 4 minutes. Cover the dough ball with a cloth, close it and let it sit for about 30 minutes. For the samosa filling, I have taken 3 medium-sized potatoes, cut them into half, pour some water in a pressure cooker, add the cut potatoes, add a little salt, mix it, close the cooker and pressure cook for about 3 to 4 whistles till the potatoes are nice and soft. The potatoes have cooked perfectly. Just roughly chop the potatoes. For the aloo masala, that is the potato masala, to a pan add about 3 teaspoons of oil, half teaspoon cumin seeds, add 1 small onion finely chopped. Once the onions are transparent, add half teaspoon of ginger paste. Next add a piece of capsicum finely chopped. Next add about 1/4 cup of finely chopped carrots. Next add about 1/4 cup of finely chopped beans. Saute the vegetables for about 5 minutes. Next add 1/4 teaspoon turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons red chilli powder, 1 teaspoon cumin powder, 1 teaspoon chaat masala powder, 1 teaspoon garam masala powder, half teaspoon salt. Next add the boiled potatoes. Mix everything nicely. So make sure the potatoes are nicely coated with the masala and the vegetables. So I'm just going to mash the potatoes with a potato masher. So I've mashed the potatoes a bit. I'm going to add just a little water, about a tablespoon. Mix it nicely. So I'm going to add a little water and mash it a little more. So just mix it along with the masala. I want a really nice, soft and smooth masala. So adding water is going to blend everything well together and it's going to add a lot more flavor. So finally add some chopped coriander leaves and mix it all in. So you can check for seasoning, and if you need to add salt you can always add and adjust the seasoning according to your taste. So the filling for the samosas are done. Turn off the stove and keep it aside. So the dough has been sitting for about 30 minutes. So divide the dough into equal size balls. Now let's start making the samosas. I'm going to make a maida paste. For this, to a cup, take 1 tablespoon of maida, that is all-purpose flour. Just add a little water to make a thick paste. We're going to use this paste to seal the samosas. Place the dough ball on a rolling surface. Roll it out nice and flat. So these are small mini samosas. So once you've rolled it out, cut it into half. Take 1/2 of the rolled out dough. Gently fold it, apply some of the maida paste. Place the other half of the rolled out dough on top, gently press it. Now this forms a nice cone. Take a little bit of the aloo filling, that is the potato filling, and gently place it into the cone. Just gently push it in. Now take a little bit of the maida paste, spread it inside on the edges of the cone. Now gently seal it. Just start pressing it so it's sealed on all sides. So the samosa is done. Make all your samosas in this manner and keep it aside. So I've made another extra batch of samosas. I'm just going to freeze these samosas. So if you want to make the samosas prior and if you want to quickly take them out for tea time, this is a great way to do it. So you can freeze the samosas and you can take them right out of the freezer and deep fry them. Next, I'm going to deep fry them. To a kadai, pour enough oil for deep frying. So once the oil has started heating up, gently drop in the samosas one by one. So you can see it's not bubbling up immediately. So make sure the oil is not too hot before adding the samosas. Now you want to heat the oil on a low flame. You don't want to heat it at high temperature. This has to slow cook. So the heat will gradually cook the samosas. So this will take about 20 to 25 minutes per batch. So if you want to deep fry them in batches, you can do that. Once the samosas have turned to a lovely golden brown color, remove them from the hot oil and you can serve them nice and hot. Now I'm serving these crispy, delicious mini samosas with some nice mint chutney, tamarind chutney and tomato ketchup by the side, along with some nice hot masala chai. This is a great way to enjoy your tea time. I really enjoyed making these samosas and I loved eating them. They are so delicious. I really hope you guys enjoyed too. Try them at home and enjoy your tea time and let me know how it turned out for you guys. Next, for the masala powder, I've taken 3 teaspoons of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon fennel seeds, a few cloves, 1 teaspoon whole peppercorns, 2 thin strips of cinnamon. So we're just going to dry roast everything. After about 2 to 3 minutes, turn off the stove. Cool the ingredients completely. Add 1 teaspoon of amchur powder and about half teaspoon of black salt. Grind everything together to a nice fine powder. The masala powder is done. Remove it from the mixer jar and keep it aside. For the mint and coriander chutney, I've taken a nice handful of mint leaves, half bowl of coriander leaves, 3 green chilies, a piece of ginger chopped, add the juice of half lemon and about half teaspoon of black salt or the kala namak. Just grind everything together. So I'm just adding about a teaspoon of water. Now that all the elements for the sandwiches are ready, let's start assembling the sandwiches. White sandwich bread, you can use any bread of your choice. Spread a generous amount of unsalted butter. You can also use salted butter if you like. Next, spread a generous amount of mint and coriander chutney evenly on top of the bread. Now place the boiled potato slices. Sprinkle some of the masala powder on top. Next, place the fresh onion slices. Sprinkle some masala powder on top of the onion slices. Spread more butter onto another slice of bread. Also spread the mint and coriander chutney. Spread some more butter on top of the slice of bread. Spread another layer of the mint and coriander chutney on top. Now place the fresh tomato slices and sprinkle it with some masala powder. Place some fresh cucumber slices. Sprinkle some masala powder on top. To the last slice of bread, spread some generous amount of butter and mint and coriander chutney evenly. So we're going to finish off by adding some grated cheese. So I'm using mozzarella cheese. You can use any cheese of your choice. Close the sandwich with the final slice of bread. Next, we're going to grill the sandwich. To a grill pan, spread generous amount of unsalted butter. Place the prepared sandwich on top. Brush some butter on all the sides. Grill it for a few minutes. So once it turns to a nice golden brown color on one side, gently flip it to the other side. Brush some more butter onto the pan. Brush the sides of the bread with some butter. So there you go, the sandwich is ready. Remove it from the grill pan. Cut it into half and serve it hot immediately. Wow, look at those layers. They look absolutely fantastic. You can see the lovely chutney and the vegetables and the cheese. It's a perfect grill sandwich. So there you go. Here is this delicious Bombay style grill sandwich, which is a must try. For the Andhra style chicken fry, I've taken 1 kilo of chicken with bone. So first I'm going to marinate it with some salt. This is about a teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon turmeric powder, add about 4 teaspoons of red chilli powder. So I have just mixed the chicken pieces with salt, chilli powder and turmeric powder. Let this sit for about 15 minutes. For the chicken, I'm going to make a masala powder. For this, first I'm going to roast a few ingredients. Take a pan, add 1.5 tablespoons of whole coriander seeds. Next, add 1 teaspoon cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon fennel seeds, 1 teaspoon whole peppercorns, 3 cardamom, 4 cloves, 2 small pieces of cinnamon, 6 red chilies and 4 Kashmiri red chilies. So I've used the Kashmiri red chilies to give it a nice rich red color, but if you don't have those, don't worry about it. Just use the regular red chilies and you can make this masala powder. So you can see the ingredients have roasted very nicely. I'm getting a lovely aroma of all these fresh ingredients. Turn off the stove, transfer it into a plate and cool it completely. Transfer the cooled ingredients to the mixer jar and grind it to a nice fine powder. So you can see it's ground to a nice fine powder. Remove this and keep it aside. So now we're going to make the chicken fry. Take a nice white kadai, add about 4 tablespoons of oil. Add 4 medium-sized onions finely chopped. Add 2 green chilies finely chopped. Saute the onions till they are transparent and they've got a nice golden color to it. So you can see the onions have turned to a nice golden color. Now I'm going to just add a few curry leaves. Just add all the chicken pieces. Next, add 2 heaped teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. Cook till the chicken is no more pink. This will take about 5 to 10 minutes. So you can see after 5 minutes, the chicken is no more pink. It's released a lot of these juices. At this point, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of the masala. I'm going to add the masala powder at intervals. Continue to cook for another 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, you can see the chicken is coated beautifully. I'm going to add the remaining masala spice powder. So at this point, I'm going to check for seasoning. Just going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Since I've already added a lot of salt while marinating the chicken, so just be careful while adding salt, taste, and then you can add extra if you need. The chicken fry is coming together beautifully. You can see all those masalas have coated the chicken pieces. I have not added any water to cook the chicken, so the chicken is practically cooking in its own juices. Cook the chicken for another 10 minutes on low flame. So you can see the chicken is cooked perfectly. The flavors are incredible and the masala is coated all the chicken pieces. Finally, I'm going to finish off by adding a few curry leaves and some chopped coriander leaves. Just give it a quick mix. Andhra style spicy chicken fry is done. You can enjoy it immediately. First, I'm going to make 2 types of jellies. One is strawberry and the other one is mango. For this, boil some water.
Once the water is boiled, pour about 1.5 teacups of hot water to a bowl. To this, I'm adding 4 teaspoons of strawberry jelly crystals. Mix it well, make sure it's completely dissolved. To another bowl, add 1.5 teacups of hot water. Add about 4 teaspoons of the mango jelly crystals. Mix it well, make sure it's completely dissolved. So I've prepared the jelly mixture. Pour the liquid into the trays. So I've used strawberry and mango for this particular drink. You can use any flavor of your choice. And let it sit for about 1 hour. Once it comes to room temperature, refrigerate it. Next, I've taken 1 tablespoon of vanilla custard powder. I'm adding about 1/4 cup of boiled and cooled milk. Mix the custard powder along with the milk. Make sure it's completely dissolved. So now you can see the custard is completely dissolved. Keep this aside. To make the custard milk, pour 1 liter of boiled and cooled milk to a pot. This is full fat milk. Once the milk is just heated up, add 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now you can adjust the sweetness according to your taste. Next, add the dissolved custard mixture and mix it well. So boil this custard milk for about 5 minutes for the raw taste to go. Bring the custard milk to room temperature and refrigerate it for about half an hour. So I'm going to soak 1 teaspoon of sabja seeds. These are the sweet basil seeds, with a little water. Now these sabja seeds look a lot like chia seeds, but they're different, and you have to always soak them to consume them. The sabja seeds, that is the basil seeds, are natural coolants, so they're great for summers because they naturally cool the body. Soak the basil seeds for about 15 minutes. After 1 hour, I'm going to check if the jelly has set. The jelly has set perfectly. So now I'm going to cut into small pieces. Carefully cut the jelly into pieces. Loosen it up a little and keep it aside. So now we have all the elements to make the custard sharbat. I have some cooked sabudana, that is cooked sago. To a nice tall glass, first add the cooked sabudana, that is the cooked sago. Add 2 teaspoons of the soaked sabja seeds. Next, add a few pieces of strawberry jelly. Next, add a few pieces of the mango jelly. Now pour the cooled custard milk into the glasses. Using a nice long spoon, give it a quick stir. Finally, finish off by adding some chopped almonds, that is badam, and some chopped pistachios. This incredibly delicious, creamy and rich custard sharbat is ready to be served. You can enjoy this drink whenever you please, and make sure you serve it nice and chilled.
So to make the payasam, to a saucepan, add half liter of thick full cream milk. So this is boiled milk. Reduce the milk to half its quantity till it becomes nice and thick. So keep mixing the milk at intervals so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the saucepan. Scrape off the sides. So you can see the milk has reduced nicely. I'm going to pour 1 cup of sweetened condensed milk. So you can see the milk is instantly thickened after adding the sweetened condensed milk and the color has changed. Now I'm going to add just a half teaspoon of cardamom powder. Mix it nicely. Turn off the stove and cool the milk completely. To a pan, add a little bit of ghee. I'm just going to roast a few cashew nuts. I've roasted the cashew nuts to a lovely golden color. Remove them from the pan and keep it aside. To make coconut milk, to the mixer jar, I've taken 1 cup of fresh coconut bits. Add 1 cup of water. Now if you need more water, you can always add a little excess. Grind it to a nice fine puree. Now we're going to strain this coconut puree through a muslin cloth to take the coconut milk. I'm taking some fresh tender coconut water to a bowl. Now keep this aside. You will need about 2 to 3 tender coconuts for this recipe. Scoop out the tender coconut flesh and keep it aside. I've taken half cup of the tender coconut flesh and I've added about 1/4 cup of tender coconut water. Grind it to a nice fine puree. So remove this and keep it aside. Chop the fresh tender coconut into small pieces. While making this payasam, make sure the tender coconut is a bit sweet. You don't want to use a tender coconut that's sour or salty. Now the milk has cooled down completely. To this, add half cup of the fresh tender coconut puree. Next, add half cup of fresh thick coconut milk. Add the chopped fresh tender coconut pieces. Mix everything together. Finally, add some roasted cashew nuts. This absolutely delicious tender coconut payasam is done. Make sure you serve it nice and chilled.